Welcome to the RPGamer Early Access impression of Grifford Academy. This is read by Sperumbres, written by Dalandar, and the video is edited by Efrog. Nothing beats a good tale of being transported to another world. Landshark Games' turn-based RPG Grifford Academy is one such tale, as the story takes players on a complete journey from the campus library through a fantasy world, all while providing an interesting equipment hook for the combat system. The groundwork has been laid for an enjoyable ride, though there are a few distracting moments where the character motivation feels as though they shift suddenly. The world of Caldria is a magical medieval place, existing entirely within a book found at the library of Grifford Academy. This book is stolen from the librarian's desk by Ernest, and the incantation on the cover spoken aloud, leading to everyone in the library being transported. After being caught and the spell, Ernest's sister Erica wakes up alone in a medieval village with only her hockey stick for protection. The library's other patrons have also been transported into the book, being transformed into monsters in the process, and it is now up to Erica to find out where the troublemaker of a brother has gone. At the same time, a dark force from the east has been sweeping through Caldria, creating violent monsters and ushering in the rise of the Dark Clouds. The Dark Cloud use any means necessary to gather more recruits and an attempt to conquer the world. As Erica and her friend Viva, Cap, and Ginny gain more reputation among the population, they soon realize that helping Caldria become peaceful again and finding their friends and family from Grifford Academy are mutually exclusive. Occasionally, the party will come across a menacing enemy known as a Night Scryer. These beings automatically banish those that cross them, which mean dead for Caldrians. Luckily, banishment just boot Academy students out of the book, where they are free to voice their incantation and re-enter at any time. These poses are just done for expositional purposes and to update the librarian back home, but still contain some urgency because time flows differently in the two worlds, with minute and the academies meaning days in Caldria. Being sent home just gives the party more time to reflect on what to do next and how to survive longer in Caldria, to find Ernest and the other students. The party is not always on the same page, and there is often bickering with one another. This typically takes the form of conversation between party members about how to proceed or to work as a team. There are times where these work wonderfully to help continue the growth of the party members, while other times they feel forced, with a party member suddenly become a jerk for the sake of drama. This has an endgame purpose as well as it can affect the party attributes in minor ways. Each decision can affect one of two related personality traits, and gaining enough in one of them result in a small bonus and a corresponding stat. Stylistically, it works as a jarring reminder of these characters are young and impulsive. This unbalance is most keenly felt between party members with little history with one another, while those with connection or backstories have dialogue that feel more organic. Characters level up based on milestone reach and the story rather than experience earned, making random encounter point on the map useful only to collect currency for buying new equipment. For the most part, the story follows a linear path that diverges into a few optional side quests that add some world-building flavor to future conversation. The 15-hour story is split into 5 chapters, with no ability to revisit previous chapters and try out alternative decisions other than starting a whole new playthrough. There's an interesting wrinkle to turn-based combat in Grifford Academy that keeps each fight engaging. Each character has a single charge weapon and 3 empty slots for purchase gear. Charges dictate how many turns are needed before that weapon can be used again, with each character base weapon always being available due to having no cooldown. Each party member has a default affinity to either physical, intellect, or spirit-based gear, and boosting those attributes will make affiliated weapon more beneficial to equip. This gear is bought from a shop in town that adds new variety slowly, so oftentimes spending currency to refresh it is also needed to make sure players have the strongest gear. Players are incentivized to always sport cutting-edge gear and other ways too. Each piece of equipment also have a level attached to it, and if a party member's own level becomes too much higher than the gear they are using, several negative effects come into play, such as buff not always working and charge time between attacks increase. This forces players to constantly check for new gear and try out new combinations to make sure they are optimized as they can get. Currency becomes a focus both and practically with purchasing new gear, but also within quests. There are moments where progressing the story requires a lot of essence, the currency of Grifford Academy, to buy some information or gain a needed key. This is the only time things feel sluggish, as combat itself is enjoyable, but grinding becomes repetitive since no matter the enemy's level, the same amount of essence is received. There is no incentive to explore every combat opportunity if the weakest enemies give the same rewards as the toughest. Grifford Academy has a lot of future goals while it is in early access. While the story is completed, there are plans to add and create a story feature so players can create and share their own adventure to embark upon. Adding to this personalized field will be the option to incorporate the player's own voice acting to showcase the quirk of each character as they see fit. A roguelite mode with intense combat, recipe hunting, and a new difficulty are all in the work to look forward to. There are only a few songs on the soundtrack, but they are quite catchy and fit the mood well. Visually, there's a fun use of diorama style for three-dimensional building to show off each town location. Characters walk on and off screen during a story moment, making each instance dialogue feel as though it was delivered as a stage play. The main characters have some distinct design, but for Town Guard and Dark Clothes, there are no variation, and overall there is minimal enemy variety. Grifford Academy has some wrinkles to iron out for its best chance to shine. The equipment-based combat system is really engaging, and the dialogue it quite well. Minimal variety in grinding and having some character motivation feel unbalanced shows there are still improvements that can be made. Right now, there's an interesting adventure with plenty of opportunities to make Caldria a promising destination in the future. For more detail, hit up the link in the description below. For more video content, subscribe to the channel. Follow us on Twitch for daily stream of your favorite RPGs. Join on the discussion at RPGamer.com on Discord. And for the latest in the RPG news, head over to RPGamer.com.